I wanted to show you this. This is my Sherwood Forest little altered booker that I did. I was at Sherwood Forest back in June it was, and I decided I want to do this. We're going back to the Robin Hood Festival next year, so I wanted to make something that I can jot down, you know, my little adventures there and anything else that I pick up. So I'd already been to the national park, and there's the visitor centre. This is an actual proper leather bookmark. You don't get many of those these days. So like I say, this is just an altered book. It's one of those Reader's Digest books that you've seen me use before, and I've just tied it with this cord, and I've just put in some kind of foresty papers. I don't know where to go. And I've also just put in images. This is actual photograph I took when I was there. I've got pockets and things like that that do have images. I don't have many images because, like I said, this is one I want to fill. I am a bit premature because it's not actually until next August, but I was excited. You know how we get. And yeah, so I've just put in little images and pockets, some of these papers, more of them. You know, this is the actual visitor centre. When you're there, all these things are from. So most of these are just the photos I've taken, like these, the murals and that. Some, I don't know how far and wide this programme went. This is Robin of Sherwood back in the 80s with the lovely Michael Praed as Robin Hood, and that's Maid Marian there. I absolutely loved that programme. I watched all of it, even when it was Jason Connery in the 3rd season, I think it was. Anyway, this is a postcard I got there, and this is also a paper bag. When the lady was serving me in the shop, you know, to buy these postcards and that, I just asked if I could get a couple of these paper bags, because they have Sherwood Forest, as you can see, Sherwood Forest with the Robin Hood. In here, on this side, this is just, it's like an old antique map of Sherwood Forest, obviously. Interesting enough, for those who may be interested in history, this, as you can see, is called the Dukeries, and this was because all the land around Sherwood Forest was in the hands of, was it 5 or 6 dukes? Different dukes, so it became known as the Dukeries. Kind of sounds like a bit like a chicken house, but there you go. This is just, you know, some of the leaflets that I got when I was there. This one I'll show you in a minute. I used later on. There's another postcard. More papers, more images. Another image there. See, they had these really nice little murals. There's the visitor centre. They have a video, place where you can go and sit and watch a video about the history of Sherwood, how it was back in medieval times, and how the phrase "beyond the pale" came from places like that, where there was a fence made from, well, I can't remember the wood, it was yew or something like that, but it's a very pale wood, and this would fence around the forest, and that would be, you know, basically the royal property. Nobody was allowed to go and hunt in there, and of course if you went beyond the pale, beyond this pale fence, you were poaching. So that's why it became something like beyond the pale was something illegal, which I thought was interesting. That's just the car park. Look how beautiful the car park is there. So that, and yes, as I was saying, that's just another map. The video shows the history of Sherwood from medieval times right through to when they used to, during World War II, hide tanks and things in there because it was such a huge forest, and the enemies, Germans, couldn't figure out how many, you know, how much artillery and things like that were, so they would hide tanks and such like in the actual forest, so they didn't know the numbers, which I thought was quite interesting. That is a very young Ray Winston as Will, was his name? Yeah, something like that, Will Turner. No, I can't remember. And that's just another leaflet about the National Nature Reserve and the Visitor Centre. It has a lovely carvery there as well, so we'll definitely have to go to that the next time we're there. That's the statue outside the front. This is the Major Oak, which is the oldest tree in Sherwood Forest, and it actually needs to have its branches. You can't really see in this photo, well, not in the camera anyway. The branches are propped up because they're so big, and to stop them drooping underneath the weight. And this is the Sherwood Forest, that leaflet that I showed you earlier, and what I did was, because it has this wonderful map in the middle, so I just trimmed it down to size, and it's a modern day map. And then just more images. That's the Major Oak again, a kind of close up of it. And you can see where it's propped up there. And that's just an old painting of Robin Hood's camp. With the lovely Michael Praed again. I loved the Robin of Sherwood programme, the music in it as well, because it was by Clanad, who are an Irish band, and they did, you know, some really lovely music for it. And that is Nazir. And this actor, I can't remember, is it Mark Ryan or something like that? Interesting, useless piece of information. He's also a sword fighting instructor for movies, and he was the instructor on a movie, King Arthur, which also had Ray Winston in it. So it must have been like a little reunion there. Yeah, I know that was just a useless piece of information that you really didn't need to know, but I thought it was quite interesting. Maid Marian. Can't remember the actress's name. This is another leaflet, and this is about a Nottingham Robin Hood town tour. And that just takes you around Nottingham. So yeah, I've left plenty space. There is images, but I should have maybe done the pictures bigger, I know, but. And then these are just like the little jewels to keep the matching green. Another leaflet there that is about. Let me pick it up, I've just dropped the dang thing. Ugh. Yeah, that's the Robin Hood Festival. That was for this year, which we didn't go to, but we will be going next year. It's always, I think, the first full week in August, because it's a week-long thing. They have medieval jousting and falconry and all that sort of thing. And music and feasting. Another Robin of Sherwood. And that's Robin Hood with Herne the Hunter, who was a big focus in the TV series. More photos that I took when I was there. And there we have it. That is the end. And that is my not Robin Hood book, my Sherwood Forest with a little splash of Robin Hood in it as well. Okay, bye.